Hello everyone, it's DA here. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you are doing fantastic. In today's Division 2 video, we are going to be talking about the evolutionary purpose of loadout creation and why you should make your own. This is an intricate part of any looter or MMORPG. The characteristics of each and every single loadout dictates the way you play the game and how effective you are in both PvP and PvE. It helps you separate yourself from the main meta, the same way card builders separate themselves by making a card deck that suits their own playstyle. For each loadout to be effective in a task, it must have dedication to a specific purpose and have a lot of synergy. These of course are two things that we will also be talking about in this video. And I understand most of us will just look at loadouts as a page to copy off whatever you see on YouTube or forums, but it's actually more than that. It is your own chapter in this book which tells us what kind of player or character you are. It is your virtual identity, so to say, especially in PvP. You might be one of those people who gets laughed at all the time because you run weapon handling and headshot damage on your builds instead of crits. But in reality, the same people who are laughing at you, they're watching you beaming people from across the map, getting all those headshots because you have perfect accuracy and stability. Creating a loadout is all about finding that perfect thing, that perfect fit, something that works for you. And you can start this by creating 6 templates, and we're going to break those down. Out of the 6 templates, 3 of them are going to be for PvE and 3 of them are going to be for PvP. Now, when it comes to reconfiguring templates from someone else's build, you want to make sure that you understand the purpose of that build and why each talent and attribute exists. This allows you to replace gear pieces, weapons, or recalibrate stats without compromising the core of that build. For example, if a build was designed with marksman rifle in mind, but you don't like marksman rifles and you prefer using LMGs instead, you can start looking at ways to substitute that brand piece without destroying the core of that build. So you'll end up replacing that Heraldry piece with a Petrov piece or a Cheska piece to boost your critical chance. In my PvE loadouts 1, 2, and 3, I often have a damage build, a tank build, and a skill build that is versatile for skill damage and skill repair. This is where you want to have your basic but highly reliable builds. These are the ones that you use for your drop in and drop out missions. If someone says, hey, we need another person, we need a DPS, this is what you use. If someone say, hey, we need a CC, this is where you pick from, because these are your pick and roll items. The importance of the basic PvE 1, 2, 3 loadouts is because they never fail. They are the same templates created at the launch of the game, and as the knowledge of the game improves, a lot of people have made various improvements to those builds as you get different weapons and new gear pieces coming into the game. Now, when you start going into late game in PvE, then you want to start curating your builds and start looking at a lot of those synergies in those loadouts. This is when you start reaching the second phase or the third phase of loadouts for PvE 1, 2, and 3. But this is something that you will reach after you've understood what loadouts are and why you need to create your own. Now, as far as my PvP loadouts go, this is where I have most of my hybrid builds with a lot of synergy. In PvE, you can just use anything you want to because enemies are limited. Though they can be powerful, they are still limited because their IQ and intelligence is very small. They are not real humans. However, in PvP, popular builds will do nothing but get you killed or get items nerfed. This is why my PvP loadouts are usually dedicated to countering different builds and different players. If your build is a common thing or a popular thing, a lot of people will already have a pre-made loadout ready to counter that build. But if it is one of those weird builds out there, people will be scratching their heads wondering what just happened or how you kill them. And that's one of those crazy things that you encounter in PvP. When you have that weird build, people will call you a hacker just because you have that weird build. Creating your own unique loadout is even more important than ever in PvP. It brings a lot of unpredictability to your playstyle, and you have to start this journey by reading the talents on weapons and armor pieces to see what works together and what works for you. You can even create a build that compensates the aggressive nature of other players on your team. Creating your own loadouts helps you avoid some of the problems that comes when items get nerfed. A lot of people right now who rely too much on Imperial Dynasty in PvP, they're going to have a lot of hard time in TU10 when it gets reworked. Thanks for watching. Sorry about my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather, but thank you very much once again. I'll see you guys in the next one.